What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Tuesday, June 10th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my dog of the day and pick out my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, we're not all the way done with the day. We're off to an okay start. Got a little bit weird there at the very beginning. The Cincinnati-Cleveland game was off the rails. It ended up being a 7-4 win there for Cincinnati. We were not helped by there being 4 errors in that game. So an annoying start to the day. We backed that up with a nice win on the Phillies at -145. It was a 4-3 win in 11 innings. Wheeler was actually great in that game, kind of as projected there coming off paternity. Boyd was in trouble all game long. Eventually that bullpen there for Chicago sucked and we were able to come away with the win. We had a push, a very unfortunate push there on the Atlanta-Milwaukee game. We had under 8 in that one. A 7-1 win there for Atlanta. Sale was great, but the Milwaukee bullpen was so bad we couldn't cash the under. We did, however, cash our no-run first inning on that game at -130, so not a terrible price. Might have to start working some more no-run first inning plays here into the pinned comment. We still got the Padres at +104 live as our dog of the day. We got Arizona as -165 live as our massive lock of the day. So we'll see how those two finished up. Right now, the Dodgers are tied with the Padres at 6 apiece in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Arizona is up 2-0 there in the top of the 7th. So we'll keep you, semi-updated on those as we record here our Tuesday video. And let's go ahead and dive right in. We've got a bunch of games to cover, a full slate out there on Tuesday. And first up, we've got the Detroit Tigers going on the road to take on the Baltimore Orioles. The Tigers come into this game 43-24 on the season. They just finished off a 2 out of 3 series there against the Cubs, so I'm sure they're feeling pretty okay about life. They'll be hitting the ball in this one to Sawyer Gipson-Long, who has yet to figure out a result this season. He's sporting a 7.36 ERA after making his first start of the year. This 27-year-old went out there and didn't look great against the White Sox. 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs allowed in what was eventually a 5-4 win there for the Tigers. So they get the job done. Did he get the job done? Seems a little bit iffy to me. So we'll see if he can do a little bit better here against these Baltimore Orioles. Now, the bullpen for Detroit has been very good all year, top 5 in the majors, no major changes there. And the offense, 4, 1, and 3 runs in their series against the Cubs, still a step down from what they've been generally doing this season, where they're 5th in the majors in runs scored, 11th in batting average, and 8th in slugging percentage. So we'll see what they can do here at Camden Yards, taking on the Orioles, who just lost 2 out of 3 at the Athletics. They'll hand the ball in this game to Cade Povich, who's 1-4 on the season, a 5.11 ERA. His last start was actually pretty decent against Seattle. Baltimore won the game 3-2. He went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 4 hits and 2 earned runs. He struck out 5 and walked 1, so not the control issues that we're used to seeing from him. Start before that, he got shelled by St. Louis, so we'll see what he can do here against the Tigers. I don't believe, no, he has not faced the Tigers yet this season, so we'll see what he can do. Not generally a guy we're super hyped up to be backing, though. The Baltimore bullpen is a huge problem, guys. They are 5th worst in the majors. A 4.87 bullpen ERA has been a huge problem for this team all year long. Not as big of a problem as the offense falling apart, though, guys. They are 25th in runs scored. They are 22nd in batting average, 26th in on-base percentage. This is one of the scariest offenses in all of Major League Baseball last year. That is not the case this year. So, unfortunately, we don't have any numbers for this game, so it's going to be a wait-and-see spot here right off the bat, but keep an eye on the pinned comment. There's a chance we could be looking to fade Cade Povich in this game, something we like to do fairly often. Next on the docket, we've got the Cincinnati Reds going on the road to take on the Cleveland Guardians. The Reds and Guardians played yesterday, with Cincinnati coming away with a nice 7-4 win there. They're 34-33 on the year. They'll hand the ball to Andrew Abbott. Here in Game 2 of this series, he's 5-1 this season, a 2.18 ERA, quietly putting together a great season. Now, he did struggle his last time out, getting knocked around by Milwaukee, 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, including 2 home runs given up in that game, so not great. He's going to be going against a Cleveland team that he faced back on May 18th, and he was lights out in that game. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, no runs given up, walked 3, and struck out 5 in a 3-1 win there for the Reds. That was a home game. Now he's got to try and do it on the road. His last road game, he dominated the Cubs at Wrigley Field, so I'm not worried about Abbott pitching on the road. The Reds bullpen has been a little bit all over the place this year, but they're putting things back together after a couple stinkers. They are down to a 3.82 bullpen ERA, and they've shown they can be much better than that number over the course of the year. The offense offense has also been churning out runs, guys. They've scored 7, 4, 13, and 4 runs over their last few games. They're currently 8th in the majors in runs scored. They are 17th in batting average, 12th in on-base percentage. I don't think this is really a top 10 offense, but if they're above average, that is a big step in the right direction for Cincinnati. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Guardians, who are 34 and 31 on the season. Obviously, losing game 1 here doesn't feel great. They just lost 2 out of 3 against the Astros the series before this. They'll hand the ball in this game to Slade Ciccone, who's 1-2 this season, a 4.87 ERA. This is only his 5th start of the year. His last time out was against the Yankees, and he actually looked decent. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, and against the Yankees, that's not terrible work. Now, we did see Cleveland eventually lose that game 4-0, but he was okay. I would say over his 4 starts, he's had 2 good ones and 2 mediocre ones. A mediocre one against the Reds, something to take into consideration. It was his first start of the year back on May 17th. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs allowed, and a 4-1 loss. So we'll see what he does in this game. The Cleveland bullpen is improving. It's not nearly as good as last year. 3.76 bullpen ERA. It's fine, but not necessarily the massive strength that it was. The offense is a problem here, guys. Definitely an issue. They're 24th in the majors in runs scored, 24th in batting average. They've scored 4, 4, 3, 2, 0, 4, and 2 runs over their last few games. Jose Ramirez is trying to carry the team, but batting .333 with 12 home runs and 32 RBIs is not enough to carry an entire major league offense. So looking at the numbers here, I'm a little bit surprised. The Reds are plus 100. The Guardians are minus 120. We've got a total of 8 in this game. Cincinnati is 16 and 17 on the road. They're 18, 14, and 1 to the under on the road. Cleveland is 18 and 14 at home, 17, 14, and 1 to the under at home. Given what these two teams have done against each other recently, I'm going to lean a bit towards the under in this game, but better than the underplay here, I'm going to be taking the Reds at plus 100. Seems like a reasonable value. Abbott on the mound has been very good. The Reds bullpen has been very good again, so I think there's a good chance they run it back and win game 2 in this series and go up 2-0. Next up, we've got the Miami Marlins going on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Marlins come into this game fresh off of losing 10-3 in Game 1 in Pittsburgh. They'll try and turn things around here in Game 2, handing the ball to Sandy Alcantara, who's 2-7 on the year, a 7.89 ERA. His last start was against the Rockies. 6 innings, 4 hits, and 2 earned runs qualifies as an amazing start for him. Somebody that has struggled the vast majority of the season. So we'll see what he looks like against the Pirates. He faced them to open his season, so quite a while ago. 4 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs surrendered. Not a ton we can take from that. It was a while ago, but haven't loved the way he's been throwing the ball, except for that last start against the Rockies. Obviously one of the worst offenses in baseball, but the Pirates, they're way down there too, so we'll see how things go. The Marlins bullpen, obviously a big problem. 6th worst in the majors, an ERA over 4.5. And the offense is nothing to write home about. 3-2-11, 3-2-2, and 4 runs over their last several games. They're 23rd in runs scored, guys. They are 14th in batting average, but 21st in slugging. Not a team that's running a lot of scary hitters up there to the plate. So we'll see what they can do here against the Pirates, who are playing some of their best ball of the year. They just swept the Phillies in Game 1 of this series, so a 4-game winning streak. They'll hand the ball in this one to Mitch Keller, who's been having some pretty bad luck. He's 1-8 on the year with a 4.13 ERA. His last start, I'm not going to say that was bad luck. He just got shelled by Houston. But obviously, he's thrown the ball relatively well in a lot of pretty big spots this year. We'll see what he looks like against the Marlins. But this poor guy just doesn't seem to get run support. And he opened his series against the Marlins and was lights out. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, and a 4-3 win. So definitely something positive there. The Pirates bullpen is improving slightly. A 4.22 bullpen ERA. Not going to complain about that. The offense, I'm not going to say they're on fire, but 10, 2, 2, and 5 runs over their last few games is decent. They're 29th in runs scored, though, and last in slugging percentage, so not exactly an offense that's firing on all cylinders this season. So, looking at the numbers for this game, the Marlins are plus 104. The Pirates are minus 126. We've got a total of 8. The Marlins are 10 and 20 on the road. They're 18 and 12 to the over on the road. Pittsburgh is 18 and 18 at home. They're 18, 17, and 1 to the under at home. I'm not going to try and get cute here and take the Marlins. Plus 104 is not a good enough price for me to be considering Miami. So give me the Pirates here at minus 126. Maybe Mitch Keller can get off the schneid a little bit. The poor dude deserves some run support, I think. Jumping in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row and is off to a fantastic first quarter or almost half of the year. So that's been great and not too unusual. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free to use bet size calculator, and our premium top top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the video, as I am not the premium capper for Stump the Spread. We have a guy over there with many more years of experience than me, some very sophisticated tools and algorithms that he uses to make his predictions. Also, he's taking in a crazy amount of data points, weather, history against pitchers, history against right-handers, left-handers, history against specific teams, history in specific ballparks. Like, crazy amount of information goes into every prediction that he makes, way more than I could possibly cover in a daily YouTube video. So definitely consider signing up for that, but check out all the good free stuff we've got over there as well, and definitely get over there and sign up for a free account. All they need is your name and email address. That'll get you on the email newsletter, and you'll get one email every single day straight to your inbox. There will be at least one free pick in there, if not multiple free picks. There will also be information on like niche betting, like golf, NASCAR, you name it. All kinds of crazy stuff can definitely end up in there. And maybe most importantly to you guys, player props or parlays can end up in there all the time. It's definitely a big part of what being on the email list is about. So consider getting over there and signing up for that for sure. It's absolutely free and it's easy to do. Also, guys, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing here every single day, consider signing up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members get early access to all of our videos and get their name up on screen like you've been seeing, but more importantly, you get access to my members only giveaways. We're going to be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie here in, 5 days. So yeah, on the 14th, we'll be giving away a hoodie. On the 21st, we'll be giving away another hoodie. So we're up to over 80 channel members. We'll be doing at least 3 giveaways a month. I'll be stoked if we can get up to giving away 4. If we can get to 90 or 100 members, something like that, we'll be doing a giveaway every single week. So definitely consider signing up for a channel membership. But now, guys, let's go ahead and hop back in. We've got a ton of games to cover today, and one of the biggest ones of the day is the Chicago Cubs going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Cubs come into this game fresh off a tough 4-3 loss there yesterday. Brandon Marsh delivering for the Phillies there in the 11th inning. So we'll see what today looks like for the Cubs, who are 40-26 on the year. They'll hand the ball to Colin Ray, who's 4-2 this season, a 3.59 ERA. His last start was at the Nationals, and he was excellent. 5 1/3 innings pitched, no runs allowed on 5 hits. He actually had 0 strikeouts in that game and 1 walk, but you don't have to strike him out, guys. You just got to get him out, and that definitely worked. Going up against the Phillies, obviously a little bit different, but the last time he faced the Phillies was back on April 25th. He gave up no runs over 5 innings on 3 hits while striking out 7 and walking 2. So I think we can feel good about Colin Ray in this spot. Now, how do we feel about the Chicago bullpen in this spot? Well, they're down to a 3.37 bullpen ERA, so we shouldn't be too upset about this situation for them, but they could be a little bit run through at this point, after such an extended extra inning game. So we'll see what happens in this game with the Cubs pitching staff. Now, the offense coming off of a 3-run game, that's definitely a down day, and they were facing one of the toughest pitchers in Major League Baseball. So I'll cut them a little bit of slack. They are second in the majors in runs scored and second in team batting average, so this is certainly a dangerous unit at the plate. So we'll see what they can do here on the road in game 2 against the Phillies, who are up to 38-28 on the year. They'll hand the ball to Mick Abel, who's 1-0 this season, a 0.79 ERA. This young 23-year-old has come out of the gates looking great. Now, he got to start off his season against the Pirates. I'm not going to say it's a full-on cheat code, but, facing the Pirates to, ease into your major league season doesn't feel too bad, I wouldn't think. I mean, 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs allowed there. 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run allowed in what was eventually a 2-1 loss at Toronto, but that was not Mick Abel's fault. This young guy has come in throwing the ball great, so we'll see if that can continue. They need it to continue because their bullpen is nothing special, guys. A 4.48 bullpen ERA for the Phillies. That's looking problematic. The offense had been slumping, and I'm not really ready to say that putting up 4 runs against the Cubs qualifies as them breaking out of that slump. So we'll see what happens here. Obviously, this has been a dangerous offense this season, but not hitting the ball super well here recently. All that being said, they're top 10 in runs scored and top 8 in on-base percentage. So not too worried about them at the plate. Looking at the numbers here, the Cubs are plus 102. The Phillies are minus 120. We've got a total of 9.5 in this game. The Cubs are 20-15 on the road, 18-14-3 to the over on the road. The Phillies are 20-12 at home, 16-15-1 to the over at home. I actually think this is a sneaky spot to take a look at under 9.5. I don't think we're going to see some crazy amount of offense in this game, especially with these 2 starters out there. I also think this is a great spot, a fantastic spot to look at a no-run first inning. To be honest, no run first inning in this game could end up in the pinned comment because I've loved what I'm seeing from Mick Abel. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Colin Ray. So definitely no run first inning is live, under is live, and if you're begging me for a side, I guess I'll take the Phillies at minus 120, but I'm not in love with it. Rolling right along, guys, we're looking at the Tampa Bay Rays going on the road to take on the Boston Red Sox. The Rays come into this game 36-30 on the season. They've actually won, 6 out of their last 7 now. They won game 1 of this series 10-8, so a barn burner of a game. They'll hand the ball here in game 2 to Ryan Pepiot, who's 3-5 this year, a 3.20 ERA. His last 3 starts, honestly his last 5 starts have all been very, very reasonable. The Rays are only 2-3 over that span, but over his last 3 starts combined, he's given up 2 earned runs. That's pretty good work. Now, it hasn't been against the toughest opponents necessarily, but it's, big league bats, guys, and he's still doing good work. Now, he did get shelled by Boston back in mid-April, so we'll see if he can, buck that trend, but other than that, Pepiot's been looking pretty good. The bullpen for Tampa Bay has been excellent all year long, 4th best in the majors. The problem at times for this team has been their offense, but 10, 3, 10, 4, 4, and 5 runs over their last few. Not a big deal, not a problem at all. They're 13th in runs scored this season. They're 16th in batting average. This is looking like it could be a slightly above average offense, which would be a big step in the right direction. Now, they're going up against a Red Sox team that won 2 out of 3 against the Yankees, but now struggling here in game 1. They'll hand the ball to Lucas Giolito, who's 1-1 this season, a 6.42 ERA. His last outing, he got obliterated by the Angels in a game Boston eventually won 11-9. A crazy, crazy game, but he threw the ball well the 2 games before that. We'll see what he looks like here against Tampa Bay. Not somebody that's been very consistent this year and not somebody that's faced Tampa Bay, so we'll see what Giolito looks like. Not a starter that I have a ton of faith in. The bullpen for Boston has gotten better over the course of the year, a 3.58 bullpen ERA. I'm not going to complain about that. The offense seems like it's back online, guys. 8, 11, 10, 6, and 11 over their last few games. They're currently, 4th in the majors in runs scored and 6th in batting average. This qualifies as a dangerous offense. So we'll see what they can do here at home. The Rays are minus 115 in this game. The Red Sox are minus 105. We've got a total of 9.5. Tampa Bay is 12-10 on the road, 13-10 to the under on the road. Boston is a 500 home team. They're 17-15-2 to the over at home. This game is a weird spot for me, to be honest, guys. I instinctively want to take the Red Sox here to bounce back and continue to hit the ball well. Pepiot is not a monster out there necessarily, but this is mostly a stay away spot for me. Maybe you could take the over, but not really showing tons of value. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Washington Nationals going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Nationals come into this game 30-35 on the year. They just lost 2 out of 3 against the Rangers. They'll hand the ball in this game to Mackenzie Gore, who's 3-5 on the season, a 2.87 ERA. He's been putting up great numbers his last 3 starts. Starts against San Francisco, Seattle, and Chicago. He's given up a total of 1 earned run over those 3 outings. The Nationals are 2-1 over that span, so pretty good work there from Gore. The bullpen, obviously, for Washington has been a problem, a 5.81 bullpen ERA. Nothing to get excited about there. The offense is starting to tail off a little bit. Something I've been talking about here. They were hitting the ball well for a bit, but just didn't really feel like the kind of lineup that was going to put up crazy offensive numbers. They're currently, 17th in runs scored, but they scored 2, 0, 2, 1, and 2 runs over their last few games. Not going to be an amazing offense. So we'll see what they can do here against the Mets, who are starting to look like an amazing offense. They made us some money there in that series against the Rockies, winning 13-5, 8-1, and 4-2. They're 42-24 on the year, handing the ball to Griffin Canning, who's 6-2 this season, a 2.90 ERA. His last start, he shut out the Dodgers over 6 innings, giving up 3 hits and striking out 7 in a game we eventually saw the Mets win 6-1. So that's a very good look. We'll see what he looks like here against Washington. He dominated them back in late April, 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs, and a 19-5 win there for the Mets. So loving Griffin Canning in this spot. I'm not showing any problems here with the Mets bullpen, a 2.91 bullpen ERA. Yeah, that'll about get it done, guys. I don't think we have to worry too much about that. And offensively, they're swinging some hot bats. 13, 8, 4, 5, and 6 runs over their last few games. I mean, just a lot of positives coming up. Pete Alonso back after it, guys, up to 17 home runs, batting over 300. They're 7th in runs scored, 13th in batting average, 6th in slugging percentage, and they are 3rd in the majors in on-base percentage. This is a crazy, crazy good offense. So looking at the numbers here, the Nationals are plus 135, the Mets are minus 160. We've got a total of 7.5. The Nationals are 15-17 on the road, 16-15-1 to the under on the road. The Mets are 24-7 at home. That's an MLB best mark at home. They're 18-11-2 to the under at home. I'm not taking under 7.5 in this game, guys. I'm not too interested in the total, but I'll definitely be considering the Mets here at minus 160. Canning's been excellent. The Mets are hitting the ball great. I know Gore is good, but I don't know if I really trust him in this specific spot against the red-hot hitting Mets, and at some point that Nationals bullpen has to come into play. Next on the docket, we've got the Atlanta Braves going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Braves come into this game 28-37 on the year, fresh off of a nice 7-1 win that busted a lengthy losing streak for them. Obviously, when you've got your ace out there on the mound, Sale putting up 11 strikeouts, that's pretty helpful. The Braves will hand the ball in this game to Grant Holmes, who's 3-4 on the year, a 3.99 ERA. His last start, maybe his last two starts, have looked a little bit sketchy. Got blown up there by the Diamondbacks. Start for that didn't look great against Boston, so we'll see what he can do in this game. I mean, going up against the Brewers, sometimes tough, sometimes not. He hasn't faced them yet this year. The Atlanta bullpen has been not quite an issue, but not quite a strength either. A 3.83 bullpen ERA, not the best look. The offense is another problem. I mean, 7, 3, 2, 5, 10, 1, and 3 runs over their last few games. I mean, they're 21st in runs scored. They are 20th in slugging percentage. Like, I don't know, guys. I can't get too excited about the Braves at the plate right now. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Milwaukee Brewers, who come into this game 35-32 on the season. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. They'll hand the ball in this game to Quinn Priester, who's 3-2 on the year. This young 24-year-old putting up a 3.88 ERA, has looked lights out over his last 3 starts. Starts against Cincinnati, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. All road starts. So now he gets to start at home. We'll see how he looks at home. He's thrown the ball great recently. Going up against Atlanta shouldn't be too scary. He has not faced them yet this season, but I'm liking, generally speaking, what I'm seeing from Quinn Priester. The bullpen for Milwaukee has been very reasonable as well, or maybe not very. That's a bit of a stretch. They're getting a little bit better. They're still a 4.49 bullpen ERA though. Not a strength. Definitely not a strength. The offense has looked like a strength at times, but over their last 2 games, they've scored a grand total of 1 run. So that's not ideal. Definitely in a bit of a funk. They're 11th in runs scored this year, 23rd in batting average, and 26th in slugging percentage. So not really the kind of offense that gets you jazzed up. We'll see if they can bounce back here a little bit. Looking at the numbers, the Braves are minus 120. The Brewers are plus 102. We've got a total of 8.5. Atlanta's only 11-23 on the road. They're a 500 over-under team on the road. Milwaukee is 19-13 at home. They're 20-11-1 to the under at home. I don't know if I hate under 8.5 in this game. I could be talked into that, but better than that, I like the Brewers here at home at plus 102. Priester's been pretty good. I don't mind him in this matchup, and Grant Holmes is not somebody I'm super sold on, so definitely give me a look at the Brewers here at plus 102, and they've got to go on the dog of the day list. Next up, guys, we're looking at the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the Kansas City Royals. The Yankees come into this game 39-25 on the year. They just lost 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox, so I'm sure that stings a bit. They'll hand the ball in this game to their ace, Max Fried. He's 8-1 on the year, a 1.78 ERA. He dominated the Guardians his last time out. A nice bounce back after a bad start against the Dodgers. Against the Guardians, 6 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, no runs allowed, and a 4-0 win there for the Yankees. So loving Max Fried. Every time he's out there, it feels like a good time. The Yankees bullpen's taken some hits here recently, guys, up to a 3.84 bullpen ERA. Obviously, I don't think they're quite that bad, but they're a pretty good team, or a pretty good bullpen. So expecting good stuff out of the pen generally. The offense has been fine. I mean, 7, 9, and 4 runs over their last few games, but not quite enough to get them the wins. I mean, they're 3rd in runs scored. They're 3rd in batting average. Judge obviously going nuts, putting up 23 home runs and still batting .396. Like, crazy stuff. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Royals, who are 34-32 on the year. They just lost 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. That's not a good look. They'll hand the ball in this game to Noah Cameron, who's 2-1 on the year, a 0.85 ERA. His last start, he dominated the Cardinals, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed. In a game we eventually saw the Royals lose 6-5 in extra innings. So that is not a good look. Bro hasn't given up. He's given up 3 earned runs over his last 5 starts combined. Like dominant stuff from Noah Cameron. We'll see what he looks like here against the Yankees, but you can't ask somebody to be much better than he's been so far. So we'll see what happens. The pitching matchup for this one is frankly bonkers. The bullpen for the Royals has been good this season in general. Struggled a little bit recently, up to a 3.44 bullpen ERA. The offense is the problem, guys. 7, 1, 2, 7, and 5 runs over their last few games has been great for a team that's actually 27th in the majors still in runs scored, 7th in batting average, but 23rd in on-base percentage. This team is not hitting the ball well. That's just not part of what they are. So we'll see if they can turn it around, but it's not looking promising. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, the Yankees are minus 195. The Royals are plus 165. We've got a total of 8.5. The Yankees are 18-13 on the road. That's an MLB best road mark. They're 15-14-2 to the under on the road. The Royals are 19-13 at home. 20-12 to the under at home. I think this is a very reasonable spot to look at under 8.5 or no run first inning. This definitely goes on the list. If you're trying to build a no run first inning parlay, I think this one should definitely be on there. So definitely think this is a good no run first inning spot. Definitely think this is a very reasonable under 8.5 spot. If you're begging me for a side, I actually want to side with the Royals here theoretically at plus 165 just because of how good Noah Cameron's been and they're such big underdogs, but not going in the pin comment. The under though and that no run first inning both have a chance. Rolling right along, we've got the Texas Rangers going on the road to take on the Minnesota Twins. The Rangers come into this game fresh off of winning 2 out of 3 there against the Nationals. Now they continue their road trip heading to Minnesota, where they'll hand the ball to Tyler Mayhill, who's 5-3 on the year, a 2.02 ERA. He's coming off a pretty bad start against Tampa Bay. I mean, 5 innings, 5 hits, and 4 earned runs has not been the norm for him this year. We'll see what he looks like against the Twins. Has he faced the Twins yet this season? No, he has not. Okay, I didn't think so. Yeah, he has not faced Minnesota yet this year, so we'll see what he can do. The Rangers bullpen continues to get better, a 3.56 bullpen ERA. No problem there. The problems for this team are their offense, guys. They are 28th in runs scored. They're 29th in batting average. Just not a team I love at the plate. So we'll see what they can do here against the Twins, who just won 1 out of 3 against the Blue Jays. They don't have a confirmed starter yet for this game, so we'll have to keep you posted on that. The bullpen for Minnesota, obviously not a problem. They've been very good this year, top 6, top 5 bullpen most of the season. They're currently 15th in the majors in runs scored and 17th in on base percentage. They've been in the ball relatively well despite losing a few games here recently. So the offense hasn't been the problem. So we'll see what we like in this game. I mean, looking at the numbers, the Rangers are minus 105. The Twins are minus 115. We've got a total of 8.5. The Rangers are 11-22 on the road, 20-12-1 to the under on the road. Minnesota is 19-10 at home, 16-12-1 to the under at home. This is a Texas Rangers game, guys. So we're going to be looking at the under for sure. In terms of a side, I can't really tell you. We don't have a confirmed starter for the Twins, but I definitely think under 8.5 is very live. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Toronto Blue Jays going on the road to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Kind of a crazy game there. The Blue Jays eventually win 5-4 in extra innings there in St. Louis in Game 1 of this series. They'll hand the ball in Game 2 to Chris Bassett, who's 6-3 on the year, a 3.56 ERA. He's having a pretty excellent beginning to his year. He took advantage of those slumping Phillies to put up 7 innings, 5 hits, and 1 earned run while striking out 6 and walking 2 in a 9-1 win, so that's not bad. Also, Toronto, they've been playing much better recently. They're 4-1 over his last 5 starts, so I don't have a lot of bad stuff to say about Bassett right now. I don't believe that there's any chance he's faced. No, he hasn't faced the Cardinals this season. So we'll see what he looks like in this one. Loving the way he's throwing the ball, though. That Toronto bullpen's been shockingly solid all year long. A 3.38 bullpen ERA, easily a top 10, more like a top 6 or 7 bullpen. The offense, while it struggled early on, has turned things around. 5-3, 5-6, 9, and 2 runs over their last few games. They're up to 15th in the majors in runs scored. They are up to 9th in the majors in batting average. Very, very solid stuff. So not a lot of negatives to find right now for the Blue Jays as they head to St. Louis to take on the Cardinals, who've now lost 2 in a row, but at 36-30 on the year, they're still definitely overachieving based on their preseason expectations. They'll hand the ball this one to Miles Mikolas, someone who has overachieved this year for sure. 4-2 on the season, a 3.96 ERA. Now, he has kind of started to return to his old ways. His last couple of starts, 4 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned runs against Baltimore, and 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs against Kansas City. Now, both of those games did end up being wins for the Cardinals, who are 5-0 in his last 5 starts, which is kind of bonkers, to be honest. Their record with Mikolas on the mound, I mean, they've won the last 7 games that he started. Have all of those been his fault that they've won? No. But we'll see if he can keep that roll going. The Cardinals bullpen looked like a strength there at some points. Hit a couple bumps in the road all the way up to a ERA of near 4, but I don't think this bullpen is quite that bad. So we'll see what they can do here, against Toronto. The offense has been a huge strength for this team. It's struggling a little bit. I mean, 4, 3, 2, 5, and 5 runs over their last few games. Not the normal, or what's been normal this season for the Cardinals, who are 8th in the majors in runs scored, 4th in batting average, 6th in on base percentage. The power numbers aren't that crazy, but overall, this has been a very, and I'm not going to say completely shockingly, but kind of shockingly solid team at the plate. So looking at the numbers here, the Blue Jays are minus 125, the Cardinals are plus 105. We've got a total of 8.5. Toronto is 14-17 on the road. They are 16-14-1 to the under on the road. The Cardinals are 22-12 at home, 19-13-2 to the over at home. In terms of a side in this one, guys, I think we have to consider the Cardinals at plus 105 just because Mikolas is starting and how good he's been when he's how good the Cardinals have been when he started, but I don't know if that's really enough to base a pick on. The Blue Jays at minus 125 also feels reasonable. You could talk me into an over in this game, but overall, I'm really not showing that much value here in this spot. Rapid fire through these games, we're looking at the Chicago White Sox going on the road to take on the Houston Astros. The White Sox come to this game 22-44 on the year. They just won 2 out of 3 against the Royals. They'll hand the ball in this game to Shane Smith, who's 2-3 on the season, a 2.45 ERA. This young 25-year-old is showing some great stuff out there. His last time out against Detroit, a pretty solid offensive team, 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, struck out 6 and walked 2 in an 8-1 win there for the White Sox. So very good there. A little bit of a weird start there at the Mets before that, but overall, I think we've been pretty happy with what we've seen from him this season. I don't believe he's faced he has not faced the Astros yet this year. So we'll see what he can do in this matchup. The bullpen for the White Sox, I'm not going to say it's a strength, guys. It's just not as bad as it was last year, but an ERA well over 4, close to 4.5. Not ideal. The offense showing some signs of life here recently, but over the course of the year, they're still 26th in runs scored, but 5, 4, 7, 3, and 4 runs over their last few. Not the end of the world for a team that's, pretty terrible. They're taking on the Houston Astros here, who are 36 and 29 on the season. They're not having the smoothest sailing either. They do somehow manage to find themselves atop of the AL West, but fresh off a 4-2 loss there against the Guardians in Game 3 of that series, they'll hand the ball to Lance McCullers Jr., who's 1-1 on the year, a 4.44 ERA. He's fresh off of his best start of the season, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, striking out 7 and walking 1 against the Pirates. I would say that's better than a 12 strikeout game against the Athletics, where they also won, but he gave up 3 earned runs. So very, very good stuff his last time out. I'm expecting him to be very good again in this one. The Astros bullpen, pretty good. Maybe not as good as they were early in the year. A couple bumps in the road, but nothing too insane. A 3.39 bullpen ERA will certainly work. The offense, 2, 5, 4, 8, 0, 3, and 1 runs over their last few. Just not an offense that's amazing. They're 20th in runs scored. They're 10th in batting average, 18th in slugging percentage. They just don't feel like that much of a threat somehow. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Looking at the numbers, the odds makers love the Astros here. The White Sox are plus 158. The Astros are minus 190. We've got totals out there of 8 or 7.5. The White Sox are 6 and 26 on the road, 19, 12, and 1 to the under on the road. Houston is 22 and 12 at home, 19, 14, and 1 to the under at home. With these two starters on the mound, not that I'm in love with these bullpens necessarily, but I think you have to consider under 8. This is also a spot to consider a no-run first inning if you're trying to build a no-run first inning kind of parlay. So you could look at that. In terms of a side, I will take the Astros at minus 190, but without much conviction, and I don't love that price. So not a game that's likely to end up in the pinned comment. Next on the docket, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. The Giants have won 5 in a row. They're up to 38 and 28 on the season. Handing the ball in this game to Kyle Harrison, who is coming off. This is going to be his 4th straight start now. His last start was against the Padres, and he was bad. 9 hits, 5 earned runs over 4 1/3. But the Giants eventually won that game 6-5. We'll see if he can bounce back. He's looked pretty good as a starter. Obviously not so much his last time out. The dude's 23 years old. He's going to have some ups. He's going to have some downs. We'll see if going against the Rockies is an up or a down here. He has not faced Colorado yet this season, but he hasn't, had that many outings this year. The Giants bullpen, best bullpen in Major League Baseball. It's not particularly close. A 2.32 bullpen ERA is dominant. The offense, not putting up a ton of runs, just enough to get the job done. 4, 3, 5, 3, and 6 over their last few games. They're 18th in runs scored. They're 24th in on-base percentage, 25th in batting average. So something's going to have to be done about this offense if they want to have long-term success this year. So we'll see what they can do against the Rockies, who just got swept there by the Mets. They're 12 and 53 on the year. Handing the ball to Carson Palmquist, who's 0-4 this season. This 24-year-old is sporting an 8.50 ERA. His last time out, it was against the Mets, so not exactly an easy team to face. 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs allowed in a 5-3 loss. Start for that, he was actually good against the Cubs, but start for that got shelled by the Phillies. Start for that got shelled by the Diamondbacks. So not somebody that I have tons of faith in at all. So looking at the bullpen, which will definitely be involved in this game for Colorado, it hasn't been great. A 4.29 bullpen ERA. Not the end of the world like it was last year, but definitely not ideal. The offense, 5, 1, and 2 runs over their last few games. Probably the worst offense in Major League Baseball. They're last in runs scored, they're last on base percentage, they're last in team batting average. So we'll see if they can get anything done here against Kyle Harrison and the Giants bullpen. I'm not optimistic for them, and neither are the odds makers. The Giants are minus 225 here. The Rockies are plus 185. We've got a total of 11.5. The Giants are 16 and 17 on the road. They're a 500 over and under team on the road. Colorado is 6 and 25 at home. That's an MLB worst mark at home. They're a 500 over under team at home. So I'm going to be putting the Giants at minus 225 as a potential lock of the day. That's going on the list for sure, going against Palmquist. I also think under 11.5 is live in this spot because I just don't see an insane amount of offense coming out of the Giants. Palmquist has been bad, but not that bad. The Rockies bullpen's been bad, but not that bad, and their offense is terrible. So 11.5 seems like an awful lot of runs, even at Coors Field. So we'll see what happens there, but I'm going to lean towards the Giants here as a potential lock of the day. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Sacramento Athletics going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Angels. The Athletics are fresh off a 7-4 loss in Game 1 of this series, not having the most fun. Obviously, Clark get that insane home run robbery. That was pretty cool, but not a whole ton to be positive about. They'll hand the ball in this game to Mitch Spence. He comes into this one making his second start of the year. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 1 earned run given up there against the Twins in a 14-3 win back on the 5th. So a very good start. We'll see if this transition to being a starting pitcher is going to be a permanent thing and how good he's going to look. The bullpen for the Athletics has been the worst in the majors. It's been a disaster. A 5.99 bullpen ERA. That's a huge problem. The offense has also been a problem at times. It's been a strength at times too. I mean, they're 12th in runs scored, and 5th in batting average, and 9th in on-base percentage. But that can kind of come and go a little bit with this team. Consistency has been an issue. So we'll see what they can get done here on the road against the Angels. They come into this game, playing pretty well. They won 3 out of their last 4. They're up to 31-34 on the year for a team that looked like it was going to bottom out. It's been a big turnaround. Now, they're handing the ball to Jose Soriano in this game. He's 4-5 on the year, a 4.11 ERA. He got dismantled at Boston his last time out. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 earned runs allowed. So not great. He'd been throwing the ball pretty well there for a minute. The last time he faced the Athletics, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. That was at Sacramento. This one's going to be at home, so we'll see how it goes. I'm expecting a pretty decent outing from him. The Angels bullpen, obviously not too good either, right up there with the Athletics, a 5.49 bullpen ERA. That's not ideal. The offense, though, has come alive. They're 19th in runs scored, but 7, 3, 8, 5, 9, 4, and 7 runs over their last few. Definitely a huge step in the right direction for an offense that's been pretty bad this year. So look at the numbers. The Athletics are plus 140. The Angels are minus 165. We've got a total of 9 out there. Sacramento is 14-18 on the road. They're 15-12-5 to the over on the road. The Angels 12-16 at home, 14-12-2 to the under at home. No major leans here on the total necessarily, but I also don't have a lot of great things to say about the side. I mean, Mitch Spence being out there, I don't think is the end of the world here for the Athletics. I think he can be fine in this spot. Soriano's been okay, but not dominant. Obviously, the Angels looked good in game 1, but this game feels a little bit coin flippy, and that makes me want to go with the Athletics, but the Angels have been hot. So really, I'm going to side with the Athletics a bit at plus 140 as a bit of a flyer, but really just a stay away spot for me. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the LA Dodgers going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. The Dodgers and Padres are actually playing right now with things tied up at 6 apiece in the top of the 9th inning. So looking like it might be a little bit of a crazy one. We're not too upset, if it's going to be an extra inning game, obviously, if we're going to have the Padres here at home as an underdog. So that doesn't feel bad. If you can get an underdog going into extra innings, you're usually in a pretty good spot. Now, the Dodgers, unfortunately, don't have a confirmed starter for this game. Over the course of the year, their rotation has just been ravaged by injuries. There's been all kinds of crazy stuff. They're 25th in the majors in quality starts. They're 21st in team earned run average. So yeah, a lot of problems for the Dodgers in terms of the pitching staff. The bullpen has been very mediocre, a 3.95 bullpen ERA. So we'll see what happens with their pitching staff over the course of the year. But right now, it's looking a little bit tough. The offense is obviously insane. They're first in runs scored. They're first in batting average. They're second in slugging percentage and second in on-base percentage. Like, this is a crazy, crazy offense with all the money they're spending. It should be. So we'll see what happens with them at the plate here. But not knowing the starter is unfortunate. Keep an eye on that pinned comment, guys. There things could end up in there. The Padres come into this game. Obviously, we'll see what happens in their current game that's going on right now. Yeah, so the Dodgers, the Padres are about to come up to bat in the bottom of the 9th with things tied up at 6. The Padres won 2 out of 3 against the Brewers, scoring a grand total of 6 runs in the entire series. That's not a great look. They'll hand the ball to Dylan Cease in this game. He's having a rough year. 1-5 on the season, a 4.72 ERA. He's given up 3 earned runs in each of his last 4 outings, which not a disaster, but not great if your offense is falling apart like what is happening to the Padres. So we'll see what happens here. He hasn't faced the Dodgers yet this season, which I'm a little bit surprised by. I don't know. Not in love with Dylan Cease right now. The Padres bullpen's obviously been amazing. Top 2, top 3 in the majors all year long. That's not the problem, but the offense, where has the offense gone? They got off to a great start to the year, but they're down to 21st in the majors in runs scored. They're 23rd in slugging percentage. I mean, Machado is hitting the ball well, but other than that, not a lot of dudes that are killing it at the plate right now for the Padres. So we'll see what happens in this game. This line that I'm looking at right now is, a very early line. Both teams are listed at minus 108, so that's going to change a bunch. Once we know who the Dodgers are going to be putting on the mound, that could change things a lot. The Dodgers are 14-16 on the road. They're a 500 over-under team on the road. The Padres are 20-10 at home, 18-11-1 to the under at home. So a very good home team and a big under team. So keep an eye on this one, guys. Keep an eye on that pinned comment. You never know. It could end up in there. Rolling right along, guys, looking at our last game on the slate, we've got the Seattle Mariners going on the road to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, the Diamondbacks are trying to finish things off here against Seattle. They're in the top of the ninth inning. They are up 4-0, so our lock of the day is looking really good there on Arizona. They've got 2 outs. They've got 1 strike. We'll see if they can finish things off here and get us the win. But the Mariners, they come into this game, hopefully for us, going to be fresh off a loss, but they'll hand the ball to Brian Wu, who's been pretty good this year. 5-3 record, a 3.07 ERA. Now, his last couple of starts, maybe his last 3 starts, a little bit of weirdness, guys. Gave up 10 hits, but only 2 earned runs at Houston. Then followed that up, giving up 3 earned runs on 6 hits and 2 home runs against Minnesota. Then gave up 2 home runs and 4 earned runs on 4 hits over 6 innings against Baltimore. All 3 of those games were losses for the Mariners, who have been sliding a little bit. We'll see if Wu's got a bounce back in him going up against Arizona, but not the easiest offense to face, obviously. We've liked Brian Wu generally this season, but recently it's getting a little rough. The bullpen for Seattle has been solid, but not dominant. A 3.74 bullpen ERA. Okay, fine. No problem there. The offense, though, is cratering, and that has to be kind of a nightmare for any Mariners fan, because if you watch what happened to them last year at the plate, had to be just feel like a constant nightmare. They're down to 20th in batting average. They're down to 14th in runs scored. They've scored, in their current game, looking like they're going to get shut out. Game after, 3, 6, 4, 3, and 2 runs. Not great. Not great. So we'll see what they can do here against the Diamondbacks, who kind of have the opposite problem. They can't figure their pitching out. They only put up, which, I say that, and they're about to throw a shutout, so we'll see what happens in this one. They're hitting the ball to Brandon Pfaadt, who's 7-4 on the year, a 5.51 ERA. He's given up 5, 8, 3, 3, and 4 earned runs over his last 5 starts. The Diamondbacks are 2 and 3 over those 5 starts. We'll see what he looks like here against Seattle, but not somebody that comes into this game throwing the ball well, I'll tell you that. They're probably going to have him on a pretty short leash if I had to guess. But the problem there is the bullpen's terrible, guys. The Arizona bullpen, a 5.28 bullpen ERA, is 4th worst in the majors, and they've been that bad all season long. The Diamondbacks did just give up a hit, so now it's 4-1. Let's not blow this Diamondbacks. Come on, that would be pretty wild. But their offense is their meal ticket, guys. They're 6th in runs scored, 8th in batting average, 5th in on-base percentage. They scored 4 runs in their current game, 2, 1, and 3 in their series at the Reds. So definitely looking to bounce back in this series a little bit at the plate. So we'll see if that happens. This is certainly a solid offense. So looking at the numbers here, the Mariners are minus 115. The Diamondbacks are minus 105. We've got a total of 8.5. The Mariners are 17 and 14 on the road, 15, 15, and 1 to the over-under on the road. Arizona is 15 and 17 at home. They're 16, 13, and 3 to the under at home. I'm not leaning towards the under or the over too much here, but I'll take a flyer here, a little bit of a look at least at the Mariners at minus 115 with Wu on the mound. He's really good. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get them over the top in this game because, Arizona can hit the ball, but we'll see what happens. I guess giving the Mariners in the last game of the night. Guys, that's all the games we have for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description, getting over to stumpthespread.com, checking out everything we offer over there, as well as getting on that email newsletter. It's completely free. They just need your name and your email address, and you'll be good to go. Guys, we will see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.